When I started thinking about this year's Christmas greeting, I wanted to make it something meaningful. So here is my heartfelt wish for us all. Good health, prosperity, and the peace to be happy, whatever our circumstances. Remember the reason for the season. Merry Christmas.
5 minutes after 9 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. And we're going to talk about cars. The cars are going to change. This is the year we're going to start to see some major changes. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess, no, I should take that back. We've seen many major changes. But the one thing I was reading about was crash avoidance technology being incorporated into cars, which I guess it's akin to, and we said this earlier, the seatbelt. The seatbelts save lives, but there are people who still die in seatbelts.
Yeah.
And so the same thing with the crash avoiding technology, whatever it's called. I'm guessing more crashes will be avoided, although there will probably still be crashes. But anything that helps out in that area would be great, especially here on this nutty road. Sheryl Connelly is on the phone. She's the Global Trends and Futuring Manager. The Futuring Manager, for Ford Motor Company. She's a speaker of the at the TED conferences, TEDx it says here, and listed as one of the top 100 most creative people in business by Fast Company. That is cool. And she's going to talk to us about the 2016 Looking Further with Ford Trend Report, the top consumer trends for 2016. Sheryl Connelly. Good morning, Sheryl.
Good morning.
Where are you? Where are you calling from?
New York City.
Now, this is a city where you really would like some crash avoidance technology, wouldn't you?
Oh, indeed. I mean, it's a mega city. It has a population of over 10 million people, and getting around is not always easy, whether it's by train or car, Uber, taxi, bicycle.
Yeah. I've ridden taxis so many times in New York, I never, knock on wood, was in a crash. But the way they drive, you would think, we're going to get into a crash. but they know how to, they got some skills, don't they, those guys?
They do. You have to be on your game for sure.
So tell me about what we can expect, the consumer trends. Is it all car related?
Actually, it surprised a lot of people. It's not car related at all. We try to look out beyond the automotive industry to areas of social, technological, economic, environmental, and political change. Because we have to plan for the future, 5, 10, 20 years out. And while we don't have a crystal ball, these patterns or shifts that we see on the horizon give us some clues as to what's coming and how to prepare.
Really? Okay. So gosh, tell us the first one, and then give us an example of how the Ford Motor Company would use that foresight, I guess.
Well, I guess there are probably two trends that might set that up well. The first of which is time poverty, and I think that doesn't probably need a lot of explanation. We are addicted to our digital devices, and the irony is that these devices were sold to us on the premise that they would save us time.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
It is crazy, but what they've really done is they've blurred the boundary between personal and professional time. 50% of young people will tell you that they check their emails even after hours. If you're over 35, you still do it too. And young or old, people are growing increasingly resentful. Americans spend about 4.7 hours a day staring at their smart devices. And this is actually detrimental to their health. It is creating a poor posture, which over the long term can reduce your lung capacity by 30%.
Oh my goodness! And so, how do you use that that forecast? How do you use that?
Well, time is inextricably tied to commute and people's quality of life, and so we have to recognize that when people are in their vehicle, the time is precious. And for some people, that means that they want their car to be a hub of productivity. That's why we have technology that will pair your digital devices to your entertainment system so it can be hands-free, voice-activated, such that it can read incoming text messages to you. You can make calls, play your favorite music. But we also feature a Do Not Disturb button because if you're like me, the car is a place where I need to decompress.
Absolutely. I love that, the Do Not Disturb button. I thought maybe you would have that lady on my GPS. Maybe she would say something like, "You're spending too much time. Are you spending too much time on social networks? You got to take a break."
Well, in fact, there is an app that we call out. It's called Rescue Me app. And it does exactly that. It keeps a dashboard of activity. It tells you where you're spending your time. And just like parental controls, it shuts off so that you can't engage more than you have allowed yourself or budgeted your time for.
Oh, really?
It seems that common sense then is flying out the window. I mean, it's really sad that people have to tell them to don't text while you're driving or talk to your children who are riding in the back seat instead of putting a movie on for them.
Yeah, so we do some interesting partnerships. last year we did a partnership with an app developer called Life 360. And so what they do is they let people on your social network know when you're in your car. It sends a notice basically saying I won't be available. And then when you arrive at your destination, it says I'm free to talk. I can call or text at this moment. And it also helps you keep in touch with where your loved ones are through GPS technology.
Wow.
Oh, that is really cool. All right. Well, what else is on the list? The trends.
Well, if you think about that, it's not surprising that the kind of counter trend to that is mindfulness going mainstream.
What does that mean?
Well, mindfulness has been around for centuries, but there seems to be increasing interest in terms of meditation, yoga, reflection.
Oh,
because it improves your health, your productivity. And so in the car, we think about the car as a sanctuary.
Exactly.
Do you know, the sound of my engine is almost like, almost sounds like that.
Now, how does this affect the retail end of things?
Well, retail it's certainly evolving in a way that it's kind of at a revolutionary moment where people want to make sure that their engagement is richer. And so that old adage about in life, it's the destination, it's the journey, not the destination. When it comes to shopping, it's the experience, not necessarily the purchase.
Do you know what Robin had a complaint about? She was going shopping for a car with her son, and Robin knows cars. She knows cars better than I know cars. But she was going shopping with her son, and the salesman was talking to her son about all the cool things, and then he said to Robin, "Oh, and it has a mirror. You're going to like this. It has a mirror behind the visor."
That's right. With a light. It's like, okay, we're out of here. Not buying a car from you, fella.
Robin was offended by that.
Yeah, we left.
You won't. I don't think you'll find that at a Ford dealership. What we do. It's just to note, though, men and women. Our research shows that men and women want the same things. It's just the way that they ask for it is fundamentally different. So your son might say, "What's the horsepower on this vehicle?" Where you might say, "When I'm on the highway, I want to make sure that this vehicle has the get up and go to get out of the way."
Yeah, well, that's the way I would ask it.
Yeah.
And I'm a guy, so yeah, just tell me I can do what it needs to do. Okay, so mindful goes mainstream. I know we've only got a short visit with you today. Any others that stick out in the report that were kind of noteworthy?
Oh, well, the Swiss Army life is a fun one. It talks about how consumers don't necessarily want more; they want better. They want to purchase smartly, and so that means they're drawn to multifunctional goods that have utility, versatility, and durability. In the car space, that means a rise in demand for utility vehicles.
Oh, okay. So just more lugging things around, like what we do a lot here. I don't know if this is popular in New York, but we have a lot of people with kayaks and canoes on top of their cars.
Yes.
People just go out into the rivers and the lakes with their little paddle boats and things.
Well, the key is to make sure that the vehicle can grow with you. Most people hold on to their vehicles for 10 years or more, and so they'll take them through several different lifestyles or life stages.
Really. And are the cars, what do I want to say, memorizing our emotions? Like, so we're in a car crash and we tell the officer, "No, I swear I was going the speed limit." Is there a way to look under the hood and say, "Well, let me look at what the computer says"? "Oh, you were going the speed limit. Turns out you're telling the truth." I mean, is there such a thing in there?
That's actually beyond my scope of expertise. But I can tell you that on my vehicle today, when I'm driving, I can see the speed my car is traveling at, but I also get a notification about what's the speed limit on that particular road. So it helps me be more mindful about whether I catch myself in a situation where I'm going over the limit.
Oh, nice.
And I have that on my GPS.
Yes, you do.
But the lady doesn't say slow down. It's just like there's a red glow around the number. Is it? Okay.
That's what a wife is for.
Right. Sheryl, thank you for doing this. This was a fun interview. Before you say goodbye, do you have a website we can go to?
Yes, you can download the entire collection of microtrends at fordtrends.com, and we will update it throughout the year. So even if you check it out once, you might want to revisit it.
You'll be happy to know our local Ford dealer is a sponsor of this radio station. So.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Well, please thank him for me.
They are lovely people. Sheryl, thank you. You're a lovely person. Thank you for being on the air with us. Have a great holiday.
Thank you. You too.
All right, we'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For today, times of clouds and sun, a shower, thunderstorm in spots. Very warm and humid, a high of 81 to